because I always say, the first time I had sex, it was the end of my freshman year. I tell you, my uncle caught me in the basement, and my uncle didn't stop me. He didn't pull me off that young lady. Say, boy, what you doing? He closed the door. He let me finish. When she was sent home, good job, nephew. Man, get you some more of that for me. Put 2 strokes in that for me. Right?
Jesus. I can't believe it, Jesus.
I wasn't trained or disciplined in how to conduct myself as a man. If I was leaving Chicago and sent to Atlanta with the right idea and mindset, nah, bro, I would have been more judicious in who I approached and who I put my seed in. Right? That's not depraved behavior person. I just wasn't informed. And what we see with the young bloods, we talking about birth rates are down, marriage rates are down. I don't know. It's debatable whether they having more sex. I don't know. I don't know that part. But what I can say is you hear a lot of these young bloods talking about, yeah, I'm just not. I ain't even participating. I'm cool on that. I'm cool on that.
So,
you know what I mean?
with that being said, people are we talk about men are have to beg their wives for sex. Men have to negotiate and strike up deals in order to get sex. But we're going to criticize them for being not men for doing that. So earlier, during the pre-show, we watched a video, and Trigger Mike said, talk about take sex out of it, right? So he's telling us not to have sex until marriage. So now we don't know the woman's sex drive. And if the man has a high sex drive, the woman does it, now all of a sudden, she can't fulfill all his desires. So what is he supposed to do? And all of a sudden, now she's like, well, I give it to you on your birthday, maybe for Valentine's Day, or maybe throw you some for Father's Day. That's not going to be enough. So now he's subject to only maybe get it once every 3 months, once a quarter. That's okay.
He gotta know the personality. That's part of getting to know that person in the beginning, like knowing her character. Because if she's the type of person that fundamentally believes that she can withhold it anytime she wants, that's a red flag, right in the beginning anyway. So I think you can figure that part out without.
If you're not having sex with the woman prior to marriage, you don't know. That's what was preached. That's what Mike was saying. We need to take sex out of it. Save ourselves for the marriage. Okay, cool.
At the end of the day,
I'm wanting it 7 days a week. She wanted once every 2 months because it's not that important to her. It's not that big of a deal.
But you should be that important to her that she is going beyond what she normally wants to please you. Like, you're supposed to be working to please each other.
But wait, what were we just saying last week?
We always
talk about all these things.
We always fall to the default. We always gonna go back to the default. That might not be her default. Her default is once every 3 months. She's going above and beyond the Call of Duty, trying to give it to me 3 times a week. All of a sudden, that starts to fall off. Maybe after the first child, her energy level is just not there no more. Her desire is just not there no more. But that man still has that desire.
I mean, what you're talking about is a struggle for a whole lot of men. I just don't think the answer is for us to go and cheat. And real, I think we did talk about this the other week, and I'm not referring to this in a way that it's like one thing that I hate hearing when couples come in is somebody that tries to make a compromise. Like, okay, well, let me do this, and this for her during the week, make it easy for her so that we can have sex. Then you don't want to go to work as a man and come home and feel like you got to go back to work again just so that way you can have sex with your wife. I'm talking about women need to take accountability and responsibility for actively working to please the person that you're with. I'm not saying that it's easy, but you can't just say I got a stomach ache and that be the end of it. You got to think of something. Like, you got to it's got to be more than that. It can't just be like that. You know,
Nelson, I'm
I'll
gonna get
do it
you
when I
over here
want
to
to
the
do it.
red pill. I'm gonna get you. You sounding real red pill right now, Nelson. Get you over here to
That's
the
not a
dark
red.
side.
Nah,
I'm gonna
that's not a
recruit you
red
over
pill
to the dark
concept.
side.
Nah, that's not a red pill concept.
So pretty much the gist of what I'm getting from you, the end game is men supposed to suffer in silence, take a lot of cold showers, and just pray. Okay.
No, it's
he said
wives please your husband.
So let me ask you a question. When you was in counseling with most of these couples, what did you notice? Was there any trends in the people who were not having sex regularly that you could like give man a bullet point list for some of the things that you noticed like consistently were reasons in which the people were having sex?
I mean, I think it's mostly the basic reasons that we always hear is that she's tired. She works just as much as he does. Taking care of the kids. Feeling sick that day. Like it is a lot of excuses. So I think that's one thing that I don't want to say men suffer, but I do need to say like it is a lot of communication, which is not always going to help. And unfortunately, by the time you feel like you're done communicating, you just step out. Unfortunately, for a lot of women, that's when it finally clicks to them that it was a problem. And by that time, they're thinking about if they want to stay or leave now, instead of looking inward and saying, like, you know, it's not my fault, but I contributed to it.
I got a question for you, good brother. Because I do a lot of group therapy, especially with brothers. And one of the things that we talk about basically is men finding their value, knowing their worth and their purpose outside of utility, right? Do you find that in the relationships you counsel that the men were the ones who had to hunt down the women in many of those cases? Like the man was the one that was pursuing and in pursuit of the woman in those relationships?
And are you talking about in terms of even just getting into the relationship, like finding a partner, like they were the pursuer?
Yes.
Like she didn't want him that much, right?
Oh yeah, you see a lot of that, but you see that in the sense of like there was a lot of relationships that I counseled that the women were the dominant one, where they had everything going for themselves, where they were making the money, they were, you know, deciding how things was going to go, and they ended up getting with a guy that was more of like a mama's boy, that he ended up liking her because the way a lot of times they put it is that she pushes me to do, you know, to do more, to want more, not realizing that you're really marrying like a mother figure. And so problems come into play because now once you feel like she's pushed you enough and you're ready to assume a leadership role, she's not going to give that up because she's used to now being the leader. There's a whole lot of that. That's like I put them into like different buckets. There's different demographics with problems. So you got that side, and then you got the other side where it's men that are like they blame it on their sex drive and their needs and what they're not getting, so they habitually cheat. And you got the woman that's with them, has low self-esteem, and she's trying to do everything she can just to keep him in one place. Like there's different, I think there's just different categories of dysfunctional relationships.